Good evening, I'm Sonika Loganathan, and welcome to Above the Fold. We begin with the NEET UG paper leak and the public's reaction to it. We also take a look at the AIADMK's response to the rebel camp, Rahul Gandhi's criticism of bureaucratic appointments in West Bengal, and more. So stay tuned for the full report. Anger has erupted among medical aspirants as the National Testing Agency cancelled the NEET UG 2026 exam after allegations of an exam paper leak. Here are the details.
For over 22 lakh medical aspirants, months of preparation down the drain. The National Testing Agency cancelled the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test known as NEET after allegations that the paper was leaked. NEET is the entrance examination taken for admission into medical colleges in India and was held on May 3rd. The government has asked the Central Bureau of Investigation to conduct a full inquiry into the leak. The Rajasthan Special Operations Group is currently investigating allegations of the exam paper leak. Nashik police have taken one suspect into custody so far. NTA Director General said the schedule for the re-examination would be announced within the next 7 to 10 days.
हम इस बात की जिम्मेदारी लेते हैं कि जो हुआ गलत हुआ हम उसको कैंसिल कर रहे हैं दोबारा कराने की ले रहे हैं.
The exam will be reconducted at a date that will be announced later.
There are so many sleepless nights, so much hard work that we put in, but last में ऐसा हो जाता है तो हम बता भी नहीं सकते कैसा लगता है.
The news triggered major protests. The National Students Union of India said hundreds of students protested near Shastri Bhavan. National President of the NSUI, Vinod Jhakar, said,
पूरे देश के विद्यार्थी जो हैं सड़कों पे हैं, नीट के विद्यार्थी सड़कों पे हैं, वो मांग कर रहे हैं कि सरकार कहां है, सरकार कहां है. आज जिन लोगों ने पूरी मेहनत और ईमानदारी से नीट के पेपर की तैयारी की, आज उनके भविष्य को 5-5 हजार 10-10 हजार में जो है व्हाट्सएप पे और टेलीग्राम ग्रुप में जो है बेचा गया है. मैं सरकार से मांग करता हूं कि सरकार जो दोषी हैं उनके खिलाफ कठोर से कठोर कार्रवाई करे और जो भी इसमें शामिल है उनको कड़ी सजा मिले. इस तरीके से अगर पेपर लीक होते रहेंगे, मोदी सरकार और एनटीए पेपर कराने में कामयाब नहीं है.
Students are demanding the immediate resignation of Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan and a complete ban on the NTA, arguing that the agency has repeatedly failed to conduct secure, credible exams.
ये न्यूज़ सुन के मुझे बहुत ही बड़ा झटका एक्चुअली लगा कि मतलब इतने बड़े लेवल पे एग्ज़ाम जो कंडक्ट कराता है एनटीए, वो कैसे इतना मतलब समझ रहे ना आप, इतना गलत तरीके से पेपर लीक होना और बच्चों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़, ये तो एक्चुअली हो गया ना. तो काफी ज्यादा मुझे बुरा लगा इन सब चीजों का.
This isn't the first time the NTA has faced backlash over the NEET exam papers being leaked. In 2024, the paper was leaked in Bihar and Jharkhand. There were some allegations of a leak during last year's exam as well, but it was not officially confirmed. The central government is also facing criticism from the opposition. Rahul Gandhi criticized the Modi government over the cancellation, saying Prime Minister Narendra Modi's so-called Amrit Kal has turned into a Vishakal for the country. Kapil Sibal questioned how a government that could not conduct exams could run a nation.
आज की बात नहीं है. 2016 में लीक, 2021 में लीक, 2024 में लीक, 2026 में लीक. इसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? प्रधानमंत्री जी को इसके बारे में मन की बात करनी चाहिए ना बच्चों के साथ. ये क्यों है कि केवल भाजपा की सरकारों में लीक होते हैं ये पेपर? जो इम्तिहान ठीक से नहीं करवा सकता, जो प्रशासन इम्तिहान ठीक से नहीं कर सकता, वो देश कैसे चलाएगा?
In a dramatic political development in Tamil Nadu, the AIADMK has formally split ahead of the crucial assembly floor test, with a powerful faction led by senior leaders breaking away from the EPS camp. Here's the full story.
One of Tamil Nadu's principal Dravidian parties, the AIADMK, is now facing its biggest internal crisis in recent years. Soon after the swearing-in of MLAs on Monday, rival camps within the AIADMK submitted separate letters to pro tem Speaker M.V. Karapaya, staking claim to the legislature party leadership. While the Edapadi K. Palaniswamy camp claimed the support of a section of MLAs, the rival bloc, led by C.V. Shanmugam and S.P. Velumani, claimed the backing of 30 legislators, effectively confirming a split within the party. The crisis escalated further on Tuesday after the rebel bloc formally announced support to Chief Minister C. Joseph Vijay's newly formed TVK government ahead of the much-anticipated floor test in the assembly. Addressing reporters in Chennai, leaders of the breakaway faction said their decision was taken considering the post-election political situation and accused the Palaniswamy leadership of straying from the party's traditional political line. Meanwhile, the Palaniswamy camp hit back through a sharply worded social media response, accusing the dissident faction of spreading false claims and questioned the credibility of leaders who had failed to secure electoral success in their own districts. To understand the larger political implications of this split and what it means for the future of the AIADMK, we are now joined by our senior deputy editor, Kolappan.
Presently, the position is, though they have split the party, the splinter group doesn't have two-third majority to function as an independent group because they have only 30 numbers. They need 2 more. But I don't think they will be immediately disqualified because its final decision will be taken only by the speaker. I don't think the new government led by Chief Minister Vijay will be interested in disqualifying anybody because they are ready to support his government, though he has now adequate majority and it's very reliable people who are supporting his government. And moreover, we don't have any clear-cut order or rule with regard to these merger of these groups, whether they are going to merger the ADMK with TVK or they are going to continue as an independent group. The merger, we don't have any clear. In the case of defection also, defection individually can be easily disqualified, but others we don't know whether it has not happened, we have not seen them. So, but at present the ADMK is going through one of the worst crises, a formidable party which was able to rule the state for 13 years when MGR was in power, and Jayalalitha created a record by winning 2 elections. The new leadership is not able to win even a single election under the leadership of Mr. Edapadi Palaniswamy. Once again it proved, though I am not agree with, I don't want that kind of leadership. The charisma matters in Tamil Nadu politics, not in Tamil Nadu politics, especially in all regional politics, you need a charismatic leader. And Edapadi, I think, has failed to prove to be a charismatic leader, and Vijay is emerging.
Moving on, Himanta Biswa Sarma has been sworn in as Assam's Chief Minister for a second consecutive term, becoming the first non-Congress leader in the state to achieve this feat. Governor Lakshman Prasad Acharya administered the oath at a ceremony in Guwahati, attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, Chief Ministers of NDA-ruled states, and religious leaders from across Assam. Among the foreign delegates present on the occasion was Sergio Gore, the ambassador of the United States to India. 4 minister delegates also took oath, including BJP leaders Rameshwar Teli, Ajanta Noog, AGP President Atul Bora, and BPF leader Charan Boro. The NDA returned to power for a 3rd term straight after winning 102 of Assam's 126 assembly seats in the April elections. The BJP alone secured 82 seats. In a message posted on X, Sarma said Assam's, quote, land, identity, and future are non-negotiable, unquote, and reiterated the government's focus on reclaiming land from encroachment under its Jati Mati Beti agenda. Meanwhile, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi accused the BJP and the Election Commission of collusion over key bureaucratic appointments in West Bengal following the assembly elections. In a post on X, Rahul Gandhi alleged that the BJP-ECI chor bazaar, the bigger the theft, the bigger the reward. The remarks came after the West Bengal government appointed former Chief Electoral Officer Manoj Agarwal as the new Chief Secretary and former Special Role Observer Subrata Gupta as Chief Advisor to Chief Minister Suvendu Adhikari. Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh said the appointments showed, quote, brazen collusion and connivance, unquote, between the Election Commission and the BJP. He alleged that the poll panel acted to benefit the BJP during the recently concluded assembly elections. Jairam Ramesh also claimed that nearly 27 lakh people were effectively debarred from voting due to the special intensive revision of electoral rolls carried out ahead of the polls. He said around 91 lakh names were removed from the voter list during the exercise, overseen by Agarwal. In other news, India has declined Russia's offer to supply U.S. sanctioned liquefied natural gas despite growing energy concerns triggered by tensions in West Asia and disruptions around the Strait of Hormuz. Sources say New Delhi conveyed its position during talks last month with Russian Deputy Energy Minister Pavel Sorkin. India is looking to balance its energy needs with the compliance mandates by the US and its sanctions on Russian LNG projects. The decision has left a tanker carrying LNG from Russia's sanctioned Portovaya plant unable to discharge its cargo. The vessel, which was headed for India's Dahej terminal, is now near Singapore without a clear end destination. India has continued importing Russian crude oil, but officials say that they are more cautious about LNG shipments because they're harder to conceal and easier to track under sanctions monitoring. India remains open to purchasing authorized Russian LNG, but most available supplies are already committed to Europe. Let's now turn to the Hindu Roundup for some of our exclusive content. In an editorial titled Belated Warning on the Prime Minister's austerity appeal, the piece argues that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's appeal to conserve fuel, reduce foreign travel, and consume less reflects the growing economic strain caused by the crisis in West Asia. The editorial says that the Prime Minister's message exposes the seriousness of the situation despite repeated assurances from the government that there was no cause for concern. It also questions the timing of the appeal, noting that it came immediately after extensive election campaigning by the Prime Minister and senior ministers across the country. It adds that foreign travel spending by Indians had already declined even before the Prime Minister's appeal, which suggests that the pressure on the rupee is likely coming from foreign investor withdrawals and RBI interventions. The call to buy local products and reduce gold consumption may also not significantly ease the crisis, so the government should have prepared the public earlier for the economic impacts of the conflict, regardless of the electoral considerations. Tap the card above to watch the editorial on the Hindu's Originals YouTube channel. In another editorial titled Ugly Bout on the show cause notice to Vinesh Phogat, the piece examines the controversy surrounding the Wrestling Federation of India's actions against wrestler Vinesh Phogat during her comeback attempt. Phogat's return of the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics was blocked after the WFI said she's ineligible under a United World Wrestling rule. The federation also issued a show cause notice citing her Paris Olympics disqualification, alleged anti-doping whereabouts failures, and participation in 2 weight categories during Olympic selection trials. The editorial questions the timing and intent behind the notice, observing that many of the allegations relate to incidents from nearly 2 years ago. It also points out that anti-doping matters fall under specialized authorities, while the selection trials were held when the WFI itself lacked government recognition. Referring to Phogat's role in the 2023 wrestlers' protest against former WFI President Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, the editorial says that the federation should have handled her comeback with greater maturity. The editorial urges the United World Wrestling body to intervene and prevent further embarrassment for the Indian wrestler. Our focus now shifts to Pakistan as Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has decided to extend the countrywide austerity drive. Here's the full story.
After US President Donald Trump rejected Iran's proposal to end the months-long war, calling it totally unacceptable, Pakistan has extended its countrywide austerity drive till June 13th. The austerity measures were first rolled out on March 9th, after the US and Israeli strikes on Iran disrupted energy supplies across the region. Originally planned for 2 months, the restrictions will now continue until June 13th. The measures include a 50% cut in fuel allowances for official vehicles, excluding ambulances and public buses, grounding of 60% of government vehicles, and restrictions on foreign travel by officials, unless deemed essential for Pakistan's national interests. Pakistan, heavily dependent on oil imports from West Asia, has been facing mounting pressure due to fuel supply disruptions and rising petroleum prices. The ongoing conflict, triggered by the US and Israel's joint strikes on Iran and Tehran's retaliation, has remained under a ceasefire since April 8th. While Pakistan hosted direct talks between Iran and the US in April, both sides failed to reach an agreement, with the Strait of Hormuz and Iran's nuclear program remaining major sticking points. Recent drone incidents reported near the Gulf region have also continued to test the fragile ceasefire.
And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts on today's episode in the comments section. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to share it and save Above the Fold playlist so that you never miss an update.